as the defenders of Boba are just grouping up in spawn, not necessarily sure where to go. We do have just a very slow pace going into this round, and Kahlo is going to spot out Piercings. He's going to find him. That's going to be a good opener, but the B site is just entirely open, and Dark Knights are going to take full advantage of it. And while they don't know it entirely, there's just absolutely nobody home. And Boba have no idea that they're already planting this point because they're so far. And they're going to have this 4 versus 3 retake already down. Site completely belonging to Dark Knights. And it's not looking too good. They're all going to come through this one choke point too. Cypher Cam going to spot one of them out. Maybe not the other two as the Cam gets shot. KO knife will not catch onto Bajunga, but the position is noted as the shot was fired. Fosie's looking for this very disgusting time. He's just going to push out, gonna get one, and it's just gonna be trades all around the board as Dark get a really swift pistol with 2 remaining, and a first round on the board is really good.
On a main war is a very intense battle. Here's number 1 and 2 before being shut down by Optics with the classic, and that'll be giving them a vector on the round.
Yeah, finding 2 there was good, but getting rid of the weapon was not, and the Vice Wall is going to have a clear separation and find that pick. And all of a sudden it's a 3 versus 3, and they still have the lesser weapons. They have picked up that Spectre from before. Fossey with the Outlaws just going to find one up mid, and that is the advantage coming back in for the attackers. And yes, they still obviously will have that Spectre on the board, but they're up against an Outlaw, a Stinger, and a Guardian, and this retake isn't going to be the best. And Fossey just gonna find one while the door is closing too. And all of a sudden, Loltec has it all to do, and really nowhere to go. Picks up the Spectre. Breaks the door, going to threaten, but the Sova Dart is just going to nullify, and there's going to be a Cypher trip up too. There's really no reason they should know where he's coming from, and Fossey with a triple kill on. And even though Boba took the first and the second round, there were some really good shines of brilliance from Dark Knights there, where they were able to get some isolations and get some picks, and at one point, it was a 3 versus 3, but with the worst weaponry, they weren't able to really do anything with it, but they definitely put themselves in a position to at least have a chance, which is something you're willing to look for. But Lilo has this disgusting walk-up, and Loltec is going to spot it out. Vice Vines are going to get shot, and this is not actually going to drag any rotates as everybody is just sitting still. And this Lurk, while it is buying a lot of space, there's nobody at B to really contest, and everybody's at A with 7 players just being in that area. As Boba just called to pause, nothing really happening. Maybe Kahlo saw somebody on that little spot there. Maybe not, but we'll at least see one and gets noted by the knife. Sova Dart will get a scan here, has to hide, not going to expose the body to any shots coming through. And it seems like that right now Boba are shut out. They could have gone B with that timing, but right now they're going to rotate after their Lurk has already fallen off of the site as they don't have any B control. But seems like they're going to try to regroup mid as well. Try to have a split into A as they only have 30 seconds and nowhere really else to go. And Dark Knights are just going to solidify this side of the map as there's no noise made on B. Bajunga's going to come through with the Guardian, gets taken out by Perso as they were scanned. Optics finds one too. Novaz with the trade. And all of a sudden it's just a 3 versus 1, and it's all onto Novaz, who just gets on.
They're going to fully agree with me as I could size the map over on top. Quickly executing what DKE. They may finally calling for the rotate. It's Luck Token left alone. Follows by Optics, but not much space there as Bomb will be able to go down with no difficulty for Boba Pop.
Yeah, DKE have just been playing the past 4 rounds, honestly, playing full retake on this B site, and I think with Boba realizing after last round's Lurk, they're going to call them on their bluff and just take it for free. And Novaz, in a very strong position, is just going to mow down 2 with the Odin while not taking much damage in return. Trades are going to come through. Loltec's going to find 2. Trade going to come through, and it's all in the Perso, and we're left.
But we'll see what DKE is able to do defensively here as Pop working quickly on this A site, and you are on a save. They don't have guns, have too much to work with here, and it's just not going to be pretty good. Down to Fossey. Fossey finds another one. Luck Duck also falling. Optics not in a great situation right when this disappears. He is going to get jumped by 2 players. Piercing. Able to find one, and now it's all down. He left alone trying to find one. Able to find one. Maybe looking for the second one here. Flash goes out. Maybe looking for it. Oh, and a third!
Oh, he finds 3!
Wait, this is maybe winnable!
And Boba they just look incredible with all these set plays coming out. I mean, week 1, day 1, that's the kind of stuff you want to see. And already they've taken some pretty decent map control in middle and on the B side. And Perso's just gonna get spammed through the smoke. Boba a little too aware of the position, just spamming it out and finding one for free. I mean, you can't really blame him for going down there as he was hiding in the smoke. Maybe somebody walks into it, gets a pick, but the spray is just too strong, especially with how many players are down mid. And they're all grouping in mid too.
How early not start
I know
overextending or trying to make miracle plays just yet. Game is still relatively close, but damage definitely on Callow is brought down as if we're looking towards maybe an A pinch, but no quick rotate off from Boba Pop. It's a call. And now Luckduck will be left alone on this B site. He's just gonna play offside and says, nah, I ain't dealing with all of that. Maybe looking to find one or two here, but not in a pretty situation. They know where he is. Corner, and he's being held hard. Smoke comes in. Give him space here. It's on 1 HP. Bomb will go down on B side.
Yeah, and I do think there was intention to actually hit A from Boba, but after seeing that Odin just spraying, they just decided to tuck their tail and head the other way. And they have 5 on this site versus these 3 retakers, and it's not looking too good. The Hunter's Fury is going to come through too. They really want to secure this round. And that's only 2 left on the board for DKE. And they just go down. It's a flawless round.
Maybe we are starting to enter panic mode. Bad flash there from Perso. Flash anyway. Bossy quickly getting out of there. 2 on site. Luckduck and Optic. But Bajuga able to find 2 Optics and Luckduck both going down. And that's another bomb plant. Spike plant on the C site. And Boba is just being which is obviously the point of the DKE.
Yeah, I mean, they did have 2 players wanting to aggress that B main space, but once they heard the sets of 5, oh, you can't really get caught out right. Kahlo finds the trade, but you know you can't go under that tripwire. Kahlo's gonna pick up the better weapon, but Leelash is gonna find the good trade timing. Perso teleport.
Say, because I could this DKE team. And that's tough for me to say, but there's a lot that can definitely be improved early on here, and a whiff shot there from Kahlo would have been a massive opening kill. Also, you know, at least 2 lives though. Better than what the team's been doing the last few rounds.
Yeah, I like the aggression. Yeah, I like the aggression coming out of B main because he had the dash activated, so he took his 2 shots and dashed out. Best case, he gets a kill. Worst case, he might get out aimed and die. But he saw the Cypher, so they kind of have a general idea that that's not the side they're going, and that Cypher is just holding this space with his tripwire, maybe trying to find a lurk timing. Especially considering this bomb is towards the A site, but they will have 2 players and a Sova in spawn watching the middle area to hold this B site, as the way they will dash in kind of fails a little bit. The Vice Ball comes up, so they just decide to regroup, reorganize, as they're not really able to get into the B site with all this stall Vice utility. And it's a very wide spread for DKE here. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see any early rotates coming out as Boba start to head towards this A site with a mid split and the catwalk. I mean, I don't think these 2 players in Tree could really do much against a hit, especially considering how strong Boba have been in these past few rounds.
Right now it's game delay, and at this point Boba has to commit onto the site. Perso able to find one, and maybe it is a delay game. Down to just 15 seconds left. Nova knows they have to get down bomb. He able to find one, but nothing more, and that bomb will be able to go down. But it is still very winnable here for DKE. 3v2 numbers in their favor. Optics finds the second. Lee Louch left it alone now. Perso on the bomb. But if he can hold it, and a beautiful shot, but not beautiful enough as Luckduck shoots him down, and that'll be a second on the board for DKE. Good job, DKE. I'm rooting.
Comes through and they just have to retreat, and right now Boba look unstoppable on this B main area, but there will be a 3rd player coming to fortify this area, make it 4 as the Omen ult is going to come into back sight of B. The Vice Wall will get baited out. I mean, all 5 of these players are being heard right now. Cypher gets spotted. Not all the rest of the 5, but I honestly don't really know what they could do. They don't have much map control, and I think right now DKE are in a really good spot.
Solid deep. How Boba started.
Yeah, slow mid walkout. They're trying to find some space for themselves. They're able to avoid the Sova dart, And Optics is going to actually spot a player, so he knows there's a bunch of players here, especially considering that Sova Dart wasn't shot. That's just going to be some good general information that there are players there, definitely more than one. And Liloch is all on their lonesome, but they don't really... It's weird because there's only 30 seconds left in the round, and Bomb is all the way outside of B main, so it seems like they're committed to this B site, but there's one player at mid and 3 players on this site, so I don't know if this hit's going to be very good. And 20 seconds left, they have to get a move on. And Optics is going to find one. Somehow Pearson's going to find the trade. That's very good and diligent. But I think at the same time, Optics could have gotten more there. But with only 10 seconds and 3 players on the site, they've got to go. Bajunga's going to find one. And Loltec is on the site. Whips the shots and the bomb's going to go down. Kahlo! No, it doesn't matter. Right now, Boba were in the driver's seat that last round. And while they did let it fumble, they still have a good buy for this round and most likely the next, even if they lose this one. So they're in a really good spot. KO Ultimate does come out, and the Sova Dart is going to scan the Omen. He is really stuck here. Can't TP out or anything. Posey's going to find him. E just swinging through the smoke dry. Doesn't even pop flash. And Boba are able to find two. And I think he just had to be a little bit more aware of that KO Ultimate coming through, especially TPing onto those boxes Omen. And E just swinging through with no flash is just so risky. And that's not the hero play you want to make. At least flash yourself through. But right now, Dark Knights are just held behind smokes, held behind the Cypher cages, and with only 3 players left, these crossfires are so strong. And Bajunga's going to take the swing through, and Optics is going...
Now Boba is in control of the game, and they know that. They're able to keep it on, but Optics and Kahlo both finding one to open up round 11 as they are looking to just continue a dominating fashion here.
Yeah, I got scared when those 3 players got caught by that KO knife, but the aim is just going to come out, especially with the eco weapons. It was just the trap they set, getting scanned by the knife and letting them swing into them. I think Bova should have been a bit more precautious there, maybe getting a little overexcited that there were lesser weapons, and E is going to find one with the Spectre as well in tree. And right now, Bova, with only 2 rifles remaining, have really let this round slip from their hands, and with no map control, they've really got to make something work. And sure, they have the passive info from the trip, and they have the Sova Dart, but other than that, they have a lot to contest with all of these choke points being held for, and the Vice Wall mid it's not looking that good.
Now it is a slow... hope for the content there. E having to back off. Aaron knows that that is a scary fight. Don't really know what to do here. Oh, push up.
Novas could find this timing here if they're not careful. He's able to find the person who's looking, but with both of the swinging through, somehow it's a 3-for-1, but it's still a 2 versus 1 in the end. With only 5 seconds left on the board, this round's gonna have to be won by frags with no time to plant the bomb in both these players, knowing they're just going to hot. Kahlo been doing good this whole time, and they're going to get countered here with the paranoia coming through the Hunter's Fury, and no one's going to go down to it. That's going to be a bit of damage onto Fossey, who had to waste the dash and waste the teleport, so they really don't have any way to get into the site easily. And sure, they do have the ultimate. Lilo on the lurk is just not going to be able to find a good timing and goes down to the Odin spray. And right now, Boba have a good bit of ground to make up for it. They have that A control, they have a decent amount of mid control, but other than that, everything else is a question mark. And I think if you're DKE, you're not too concerned about mid just because that Vice Wall is still up. And the Sova Dart's going to get shot too. They're just a presence known. And I think it's just smart here to... Oh, the Waylay ult's going to come through too. It's going to clear Olive Tree, not going to hit onto any of the players of DKE. And Perso here is going to try to hold it. And Kahlo is able to find Bajunga. E is able to find one. Piercings. And in a 5 versus 2, Novas and Fossey have to clear it out. They're able to find troubles. And Fossey is able to find 2 on the headshots. Optics with the trade though. And with 35 seconds left, it seems like Novas is just going to want to run it down. But Loltec is going to beat him to the B site. Vice Wall's going to go up. And surely you have to watch for this cross here. Perso's going to run across too. Maybe looking for the jump spot. Novas hears what he's going for. And I think the swing here could be volatile. Finds the headshot. I think Noltec is just the checkmate position here. He knows he's here, but not this close. And yes, Loltec is going to... Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Boba are doing. That's exactly what I thought they'd do. They'd just run it down mid, send some flashes in, so darts, and while all the players are in this A direction, they're going to find this fight into Catwalk and find a really quick pick, and even though it looks like a almost close round here, they don't really have any space, as all of mid, B, and A has been taken for the side of Boba, and they're just closed off here. They can't run away. They just have to push into this A side, but the 5 players here, and they might think they have to reclear all this mid space. And if they want to leave, they'd have to walk away, or else it'd alert everybody. And these 5 players here are just ready for it. But I think Dark Knights are smart here to make the call to not instantly hit, considering all these players they just saw could have easily gone to this A site. I mean, they're slowly clearing this mid area, which is very risky considering that all the players were just there. But it's the call that they have to make. And E walking up might find a good timing here as the knife comes through and knows the player's there, and Bajunga's gonna go just caught lacking ever so in the slightest, and Fosi has to be good for one here as they're stuck on the site with nothing to do. With Lelouch on their side, Novaz is going to find a spray, Lowtech gonna get one as well. And all of a sudden, Boba are able to find 2 kills in the 3 versus
3-round lead, but that can definitely all fall apart depending on how they play these next few rounds. EK quickly working onto this B site, taking immediate space. Nova able to find one with the shark dot. Shark dot. Shark. Oh. Don't laugh at me.
the dart of the shocking.
Yeah, don't laugh at me. Oh
my goodness.
Kyle just got
They're just sitting in this. I mean, gotta make a hero play when you only have pistols. But I mean, that one was quite audacious. And these players are coming in. Lelouch finds another 3K, and it is just a flawless round with the better weapons. And I don't mind the idea of just running it down on a site and hoping there's no one there and taking the site. Especially considering you have the worst weapons, you know, just send it. Have Phantoms and Vandals. We still have an Outlaw, Bulldog, Guardian from the side of Boba, so still a very winnable round. Especially considering Fosi has pushed up this far with the Outlaw, and he's actually going to stick around, choosing not to TP out. And this could easily catch a player out. Even they all do have full armor, but 2 shots is still all that it takes. They have a bunch of... Sorry, Dark Knights have A control. They're going to walk away, and Percival's going to catch Fosi out while he's on the retreat. Novaz is going to find the trade with the Guardian, and the Sova drone is going to reclear a bunch of the space. Here's one drop into Sabrosa, and C second knows there's a lot of mid prep. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to keep holding these angles and waiting for the teams to push through. Kahlo's going to find some decent spray. Novaz in this corner is going to get flashed. He goes accounted for and finds 3. Somehow not getting traded out for, but Optic is able to find 2. Finding a collateral on that too, I think. Yeah, collateral. Bringing it from a 4 versus 2 to a 2 versus 2. And Optic's putting in the work for the team. It's going to get body shot, and it's not going to be enough as the armor is on the table, and Optics being the hero that Dark Knights needed this round. And Lelouch was good for 3 in both the previous rounds. All they have to do is be good for 2 here, and this time they will not be G2.
The remainder of the map, no more big mistakes, and come in here on a crucial round 14. And I know I say crucial a lot, and that's because every round of Valorant matters. Even the small mistakes can lead big consequences.
I'm actually surprised that Fosi has a Sheriff here, considering they still have 2,900 credits in the bank after the Sheriff purchase. They could have gone for a Vandal or a Phantom, but that is the weapon of choice, and the Odin Spray is going to put on the Kahlo. Not finding the kill, but bringing him down to half HP. Very impressive stuff, and if this Sova drone is going to tag on to anybody, that could be deadly, but there's just too many smokes in mid to account for. And while there isn't a lot of control for the side of Dark Knights, they have found that, and they're not being contested in mid all that much, but we do have this walkout from Bajunga, and if they decide to go to this A site with the spike, I don't think this corner is going to get cleared. It's all into Optics if he's able to find this, but the timing is there, and Bajunga is able to find one. The trade comes out from Multec, but with the spike being dropped, they know it's going in this direction, and Piercing is going to find 2. Kahlo finds the trade onto that, and it's just a 2 versus 2. Of Lelouch and Novaz versus Lultec and Kahlo. And it's going to be really hard to retake this, especially considering that the defenders are just rooted onto this site. But with one going in hell, this could be very doable. They might not be able to find a trade for Lultec, as both these players are going to be able to play together. Shock Dart comes through, and Lultec is going to have to find a timing on a Lelouch, and it's not going to happen as Lelouch finds the player in hell as the attackers get isolated. and Boba are able to get another on the board. I would have really...
Entering round 17, and Boba just 3 rounds away from, once again, putting it in the history book. So we need to see something different here from DKE. Maybe a different executing scheme, but that's not how it's going here. Or so trying
The
to
spray is the spray is disgusting from both sides, with Novaz able to find 3 players with no kills, but bringing them all down to 1 HP. And while he will go down to low HP himself, that is a trade you are willing to make. And it's a 5 versus 4 with 3 of the players on the side of Dark Knights being 1, and that's one of them, as Piercing is able to find him. And with all 3 of these players being on the site, a gust of wind will blow them over, and Lowtech, the only full HP, goes down, and it's a flawless round for Boba as they just run it down, and Lilouch finds another 3K. And that, I think that's off the back of Novaz, who just sprays through the smoke.
Another lost round, and the hope is really falling apart for DKE fans here on map 1, but we do have their map pick of Lotus next up, which is where we see them play their best Valorant, but 2 quick kills there for Boba Pop. Fossey and Bajoon both finding kills. Callow and Lucked Up goes down. Also able to find one before being shut down by Piercing, but they will not find any more. Now with 3v2, Optics and Aaron left alone. Oh, Fossey shot down. Operator unable to find anything, but now Aaron left alone looking for anything. We'll be able to find one now. A 1v1. Still definitely winnable for both sides. This is the closest round of Valorant we've seen in a while. Bomb's going to be able to go down on the B site as it gets quiet here. This is where, you know, you choose if you want to win or not, and DKE needs a round here!
The Odin's just better, I suppose, and Fossey is going to find Optics on his drone. You better stop playing Angry on that thing, and it's just going to be another rundown for Boba as they are caught lacking, asleep at the wheel, and Lowtech and Kalo are just isolated from the spike. It's down in the B tiles area, and both these players are on catwalk, and it's just brutal. They are getting run down, and
a lot of fans of Low Elo Esports and DKE needing to execute quickly. They know where all of them are, and it's not looking pretty. Aaron able to find one before being shut down by Fossey. Maybe we see an execute beginning here on this side. Optics will revive them. Does give DKE numbers to an extent. 5v5 situation.
And while they do have the numbers, all 4 of these players are on the A site ready to take this hit, but if Lowtech decides to use the Steel Garden and take away all of their weapons, it's going to be a much easier site to take. But the Sova drone is only going to be able to spot out one, as the Vice Lowtech is going to shoot it down and all the other players hide away. As we do have a little bit more of a spread defense coming out from Boba, but these 2 players are looking to make a play off of Piercing's contact, and the double swing might come through, and they're going to find 3 of them! Novaz and Piercing's going huge! And now we're in a 2 versus 2, and with Perso low, the Omenal's going to come through onto the B site, and it's just going to be a fake, as he doesn't even have the bomb with him, and that's going to drag Lilouch over to the B site. But with Fossey still here, and with the Cypher Trip still on the A main choke, it is still very difficult for them to get into this because all they have to do is snap that tripwire. But with Fossey walking away, the smoke's going to come through, and the tripwire's going to come through. Perso getting caught out, and it is all on to Optics. 12-7. Fossey is unable to find the timing for the door. He's going to have to shoot it. Double dash comes through. He's on him. Where are you looking? And Fossey is able to find...
And they know that. We know it. Welcome everyone to round 1 on map 2. Let's get right into this one.
And automatically we're going to have DKE just have this quick rebel take, and this is going to be heard from Boba with both those players near the B site, and they're just going to speed up this C execute. Already taking that C mount area, the Vice wall is going to be procced there too, and Lowtech will have a reinforcement coming out from Perso. But still, this is 5 players in this direction, and it seems like they will pivot away as this A rebel space is taken. And if they go into this A area, it could be dicey with both of these duelists here. But at the same time, Kala doesn't have any utility, and I don't think E will either. So it'll come all down to their ghost gunplay, as literally 4 of these players are just going to send it, and they're going to get caught out. The stun's going to come through, but Piercing's just going to find the kill there, and Kala on their lone getting seized and is able to find one, but Fosi finds the trade, and this A site is a little bit more wide open, and this B site too. With this lurk coming out from Bajunga, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to pivot here, but that might not be the case as Perso gets caught out by Lilo, and Lultek is going to have to find a hero timing here, and is going to be able to take out Novaz this
Done for. You dropped to 0-1 on the season. Your playoff chances crumble. And for the favorites to make it in Group A, it's not looking pretty for DKE, but maybe they're able to find something here on round 2, playing a nice, calm defensive half, completely rotating over towards the C site, where you see Boba taking the space. B and C is the call for Boba, but it's mostly on C where Spike is. Nova is going to be able to get down the bomb. Louch able to find one, but Piercing able to find two. Also, Aaron and Perso goes down. Bomb's going to also go down on that C site. Callow able to find one. Maybe looking for a second one with the classic, but unable to find anything. The right click, unable to do anything, and now it's all down to Lucktelk. Once again, a 1v4 classic to his name. No util, no anything, and that's round.
But seems like it's going to be a very strong hold on the Rebel side with all 5 players of Boba just sitting outside of here. And they're halted by the smoke and the 2 duelist players holding it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we just see some like pop flash come through and they just run out.
Most definitely, this is not a situation here for DKE. Aaron able to find 1 and 2 right there. Piercing and Fossey goes down, but maybe looking for a third on the round, but gonna have to get out of there. And now numbers for the first time this half are in favor of DKE. Only Callow down for DKE, the duelist player, but they do have another one in Aaron. Aaron's playing pretty good thus far coming into round 3. And on Boba, I really want to hit this B site. The weaker site, Optics holding it alone. The Phantom to their name and Light Shields. Looks like that might be a call here. Some space. Don't know how to feel about it, but there is a ton of space to be taken. Looks like a rotate beginning over towards the C site. Eventually, I don't actually know where they're going. What do you think about it, Jesse?
30 seconds left.
I think the B players are just trying to make some noise. They tap that door, make some noise around C mound area, but there's seems like it's going to be a walkout towards A, and the utility is surely going to be heard by Parasol here. Rotate's going to be dragging over, especially with Optics in the area, hearing all 3 players' footsteps or being tapped. And Optics is just going to get caught up by Bajunga here, gets caught sleeping at the wheel, and Perso is going to be able to find the trade, but it is still a 3 versus 2. Bomb isn't down yet, but it does go down with 2 seconds left as it is all on to Novaz and Lilu. E is going to catch him out. The spray down not there, and it kills the board to clean it out. These isolations are going to be hard to know as both of these players are here. Vice Flash going to get shot, but Lucktelk is too good for it. Swings through off of the Vice Flash, being placed non-activated, and DKE get their first on the board. And this is the round that they are expected to win as they are able to buy up against these Stingers.
We flunked up the first one, but we're still here to win, and DKE knows that this one is a hard hold for this C site where we see Boba taking quick space, maybe wanting to execute. Ursul and Lucktelk sit on site. Be alone in the push up on the other side from Callow and Aaron. Looking to find the first contact. Piercing able to find one, maybe looking for a second one here in the gun duel. Don't know though.
Brought down to 16 HP. It's going to be hard to get out, especially when the spray is just too volatile. As we're brought down to a 4 versus 4, the information is garnered towards A. There are players pushing in that direction, which it really sucks for Boba because they really don't have the easiest option to rotate, as there could be players on their flank and there could be players anywhere in the Rebel area. But with this noise heard that the Neon is towards the B site, it's just going to be a hit onto C as Perso, all on their lone side, is tries TP out and will be able to do so as they're able to escape into past the smoke, but Lucktelk is going to find a quick pick from a person trying to push into the C main area, and it's labored, but Optics is able to find it. E is in, and it's going to have to be a 4K. Is able to find 2.
And they do so well, and it's just such a pro play as they take it quickly. It's a 3v5, and do you trust the Vandals over the Sheriffs here? I think you do. DKE does have some of the best aimers in all of low elo Valorant. Of course, Callow led TCC in KDA, but tonight he has been shut down by Boba as they have came prepared to shoot him down. Aaron and Callow needing to get out, but Callow unable to find any sort of space. Fossey shoots him down as Callow so far 2 and 5 in the game, and he has not had the impact many people expected. But that's fine, as long as you're able to win this map, there's a chance on map 3 that he can lock in. But
yeah, both players of Kalo and E getting hit by that paranoia and just getting scanned was too much to handle, especially since there were 5 players to shoot those sheriff shots. And E, if he just finds a spray into that smoke, he would have found so much value, but is not able to do it. And the Vandals taken away from the Steel Garden. A very dual 5 versus 3, make it a 5 versus 2, as the weapon they picked up from Kalo is used to kill Optics on that flank. And this 5 versus 2 is not looking good, as the Vandals have been acquired for the side of Boba. And Looktech and Perso have all of the work to do to make up for their teammates' mistakes. And Perso is just going to get caught out in the open, and Luktelk, I wouldn't be surprised if he just decides to save this rifle, as this 1 versus 5 isn't going to work out how they desire. And yeah, he's just gonna have to walk away, but these 3 players in this heaven area, he hears all 3 sets of footsteps, and he isn't able to find anything. Round back against Phantoms and Vandals, their own Phantoms and Vandals to contest with. It will be very difficult to do anything here. But the timings, Perso could have found a kill there with positioning not being expected, but Lilu is too good for it. And Piercing is able to just find this kill as E just activates the Vice Wall and isn't able to jump back away from it. Kala will be able to retrieve the Stinger, but it's just not the weapon you're looking for. And the pushout's going to come through, and Piercings is just expecting it. TKE are just pushing out. And I mean, sure, go for the hero plays. You're on an eco, try to find a pick, try to find 2. But right now, Boba are just ready for it. And Optics not able to land the Sheriff shot, as the jump around is just too difficult to land the shot on. Bajunga escaping with his life. Optics is able to make good of it, though, with that Stinger. Gets bitten by the Fade Prowler. And Luktelk is so far away that they're really just shut out of this round unless they can find a miracle. Right now, Boba, just with all these weapons, Piercing's going for a very risky play. I wouldn't really be sitting in this if I were you. Could have gotten sprayed there, but I mean, at the end of the day, you kill, they're decayed down, just gotta hit 1 bullet. And Luktelk is able to find 1 for their troubles, but now the rest of the team is made aware of this position. Will get seized, but might not be expecting this position as the Prowler comes through. Has the Neon Ultimate and a Bucky, which I don't really mind, because I mean, with that Neon ult, you basically have a Phantom or Vandal in your hand, sometimes even better, with the ability to just run and gun. And the Bucky with the slide can be very devastating for a 900 credit weapon. But right now, Boba have taken a pause, taken a slowdown, taken some B space, and taken some C space. And Piercing just finds Optic. That's disgusting. He's just walking on his own, and he's being held for. But the headshot is just there. And Boba, with the man advantage, can almost do anything they want. They have 2 players towards the C site, but that is not where they are going. With that pick being towards B, that door is very threatening. So I like the call from Boba to come towards this A site as is all on their lonesome. And I think the clear thing is you either have to play retake with your team or play in tree and go for the hero. With the Fade Prowler coming through, that's not going to happen. He does have this Bucky, and I would be surprised if they got 1. Sliding in, trying to find their timing. But all of a sudden, 4 players have gotten here, and it's actually interesting. Novaz is a little quick to rotate off of this, with only 25 seconds remaining, which I don't mind considering 4 players have bit on the rotate as Bajunga has found this. But it is a race to see right now, and with the Neon Spear, these players are close by, but they won't be able to delay a plant. And they'll be able to get the C-mount plant too. This is really good for Boba, as the bomb is very open, and they find the Vipers. Actually doesn't hit the bomb, but at the same time, it hits Waterfall and it hits CT. So this is very devastating. This Bucky will have to do everything, and will have to find Piercings, who is playing so far forward onto them. And these Vice Vines are so devastating, because in that Viper's pit, you go down pretty easy, especially since you're being decayed. And it is all onto Luktelk and E, as E's able to find 2 with the Bucky. 11 HP, that decay doesn't really matter, and no.
Heard that. Uh-oh. I don't know who's gonna drop off the bridge. It's not gonna be me. Oh, Aaron able to find 1 along with Perso, but nobody able to find an evening out trade. Still a 3v4 situation for DKE. They have the numbers for the first time in a long time as they're looking to put a third on the board and make this game just a little bit more manageable. But look at the beautiful call from Boba. Oh, it's just so beautiful as they work over towards this A site where Lucktuck sits alone. It's a race against time. Who can get their first bomb? Maybe I'm going to go down unless Lucktail has a chance. Oh, the whiff! Oh, no! The whiff! Verso now falls. Oh no.
And while DKE have done well to find this man advantage, it is easily taken away as the weapons they kill are just too far for them to retrieve it.
Dark Knights, they're talking to their therapist after that round. I would be too.
Yeah, I
Sadly,
would
my
be too.
therapist
That's
don't
tough.
pick up the phone anymore.
Oh shit. My bad.
But
Tough spot,
anyway,
rough spot.
yeah, coaching, and running all of this alongside my partner in crime, Midnight. A huge thanks to her, and also a huge thanks to all the staff over here at Spec. You are all amazing. So, bit of a shout out over there. But back to our game full of action. Lucktail able to find 1 and 2, making up for the horrible whiff he had last round that seriously cost them the game. The whiff onto Fusing. But now, there's a chance. They have him pinned. Aaron able to find one, maybe looking for a second one here. Oh, never mind. It's going to be Callow able to find one. And now it's Lodge. I still can't say your name. It's Spies all alone. Oh, barely dodges the RPG, but not able to find it. Callow shoots him down.
Way, Boba with a pretty high Omen flash there, and E is just going to get out by the scan. He's just posting on the op line. Very audacious play, if I do say so myself. But this will put Boba in a 5 versus 2, as Optics is going to get found on B once again. Optics is just getting caught out on this B site so many times by piercings on this lurk, and it is just not the best look. And Bajunga with the Omen ult just TPs onto A, and I think Kalo would have definitely heard it as they were in this vicinity. And they have a potential to catch a player or two out as they're running onto the site. And this swing timing could be everything. Yes, knife out in hand. That is a freebie. But now with the position noted, Kalo is just going to get pinched from all directions. They have to make a play. The calm aim is there and finds Bajunga, but Piercing is able. And Lucktelk is just stuck in the A rebel area on the attacking side spawn. And I think they're going to expect this flank, so it's just going to be a save. And if we look at the money, it's not looking good as Perso literally has 0 credits. So there's actually a good save call, so they can have one more into their next round.
Oh, KE gonna go down. This time it's half. Half is no longer in favor, and this is their map pick too. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. DKE is on.
Right now, it's Piercing's doing 16 and 5. And with only 2 players to hold this A rebel area, they've like Omen smoked it off, they've naded it, they seized it, and in the past they've had 2 players here. And Fosi popping the showstopper is going to everything, as these 2 players are just going to have to retreat as the showstopper once again is literally in our. Kalo is forced to drop down though. Will eventually jump back up with the satchel. And we'll get on top of these boxes on the off angle. But Fosi is just too good for it and is able to find one. E finds a trade with the overdrive. Stun coming through. Op shot missing. And Optics is good for a kill. And Bajunga is 2. And a whiff shot. And the short he gets whiffed too. And Optics on 1 HP. You won the round. You can stop throwing your util. You won. He's in the trenches. He is fighting his demons. Like, oh, what? Dedicated just to them.
Entire floor of the hospital.
Yeah, they're gonna need like Grey's Anatomy on their side, bro.
That definitely needed it too. 13 HP left for Aaron, and I would definitely be calling my mommy at this point. Out of fear, you know.
What's mommy gonna do in a Valorant game?
Comfort me. Telling me your mom doesn't comfort you when you're sad? Scared?
Oh my god. Anyway, I think Lilu's gonna need some comfort. Judge just catches him on this jump spot. If he sees the vice wall, he's gonna want to but the judge could be too powerful, but the smoke might betray him a little bit. And 5 players are headed towards the C site, and Luktelk all on their lonesome is going to have to hold everything off the Stampede, but they're actually just going to walk away after making a little bit of noise, and I think the spike is still headed towards C, hopping in the smoke by themselves. The rotate is just a ruse. And I mean, if both of these players on the C-mount area go down, Luktelk could be the hero that they needed. As there's 20 seconds on the board, and he's gonna find one. That's the bomb. This should be alerting the rest of the team, as the Omen is here as well. And the shorty is too good for it. Only 10 seconds remaining. Door's going to be tapped. So the bomb plant is going to have to be a bit safer, as the Viper's Pit comes out as well. And this is the last of the half. So all of the stops can be pulled out, and the smoke is really going to E from doing anything, really. We'll have to find a weapon upgrade, or rather a downgrade to that Phantom. And the shorty is just too strong, as Bajung landed this. Not onto Optics, but onto E. And the judge shots coming through. This is why they bought them, but the is going to find the kill.
Where you get, you know, what many would say easier matchup, but at this point, are we gonna call them frauds? Or do we just think Boba is insane?
I think Boba might just be insane, as they are taking over this game, but Luktelk is not to be bested, is able to find a free pick, but 3 players are just gonna run it down on him. And these 3 players towards B, Lilo just gets overrun by Perso, and it's just 3 players that have to come back all the way from the B site, all of them just grouped up, and I think this is a round that DKE should be winning no matter what, and if they lose this, then we are really talking fraud alert, especially with the one-way. The Satchel's gonna come through, and Novas is going to find 2 to 2 versus 2. No, please. I was joking about fraud alert. Kahlo almost gets the Viper's Molly is just going to isolate him, as he's going to swing through it!
No way.
And it's a 2 versus 1, and the bomb is not planted for Optics, and he messes up the scan as well. This is not looking good. Stuck here, finds 1, finds 2. After a rough start to Optics was 2 and 10, but now is 8 and 11, going on a 6 to 1 kill death run, which is really what you want to see to revitalize your team and just be like a positive KD player in general, especially after the first map performance was pretty decent too. But right now, they have just found a wide open C site, and these 5 players on the flank, I wouldn't be surprised if they just decide to deathball it or just decide to play exits and die to the bomb, but they have been noted. All 5 players, they know they're here. It is a huge paranoia, and Telk are going to mow them down. It will come all down to this eco, and if Boba win this one, we could just see a 6 to 9 scoreline, and it could be another runaway game. But if DKE are able to steal this one away, we are looking at an even game all of a sudden. And with the lonesome defender of Lilo here, it's gonna have to be a retake. You can't play by yourself. You can't lose this Phantom. You're just gonna have to wait for the team, and the rotates are a little bit slow. Some of them still on B, but they will still have time to make something work. And oh my god, he almost goes down, and 2 players on the side of DKE. And they're just gonna go down, and 2 of these players are on 1 HP, and Optics goes down, and Boba are just running them up. And Novas is going to be able to find the finisher. And I mean, it was looking really strong at first, but just every player personally, because if they lose it, they go on a save. They're down by 4, and Bajunga finds one off rip as E just isolates from the rest of his team, dashing down. Optics is able to find the kill onto Piercings on B, and it will be a full pivot to the C site. The Vice Wall will be noted, and all of the vines will get popped. And the spike will get delayed, and he's stuck behind the wall, and Optics won't be able to plant immediately. So this allows for some rotates to come through.
Cover going out.
And it's just going to be a 4 versus 4 retake, and they do have 1 player on the... And Luktelk is expecting this.
Well done.
And he's able to find Fosi, whose foots are just stomping and clomping. And Perso's going to find one as well. But Novas and Lilo are going to be able to make it a 2 versus 2, and the bomb is planted in a... Bomb gets tapped, Boombot comes through, and with Util caught out in hand, Luktelk and Kahlo are not anything work as Bobai, as they look to take a lot of A rebel control with the 3 players fighting for it. But once again, this Vice is here to... The stall is the name of the game, as E is going to bait out the wall, almost gets sprayed for it, but is just diligent enough to be able to dash back into that smoke, and the paranoia comes through, and it's just... The site is just going to have to be given up. There's really nothing he can do. He's gonna push through and he's gonna find one as nobody's holding Perso. Everybody's all the way on C Mound. There's no... And Murder is gotten away with, and the Showstopper comes through, is able to find one, and Fosi finds a second, and Boba are just dominating. 3 people left alive against Luktelk, and this is a fumble from the side. He's able to find one with the Phantom, and the Steel Garden is available if he decides to use it. There are 2 players here, and they have a pretty strong cross, and it will come through. I wouldn't be surprised if a swing comes out, but he's able to find one. Corner!
Calling it win. The Boba upsetting the top seed in all of Pink Spike. This has been an incredible game. If you are just tuning in, welcome to the stream. And right now we are in a winning game. Quiet.
Yeah, Fosi has the walkout, but this double hold is just disgusting. It's not going to be expected. And Perso finds the freebie onto Fosi, who overextends a little bit. And Piercing is going to try to find an evener just to make a play. But once again, DKE are just holding for it, expecting Boba to make these aggressive pushes. I think just calling their bluff on this timeout, talking about how aggressive Boba are, expecting these deep pushes to come through, and the double hold is just too powerful in the moment. Martial shot comes out from Bajunga, not able to find any value. Paranoia will, but Kahlo doesn't get hit by it and is able to swing on it. And sure, that is a pick right there, brings them to the 2 versus 4, but it's still a huge man advantage, but the spray is huge. But Kahlo is able to find some clarity in the chaos as Novaz has to make this 1 versus 3 work, and they're going to plant all the way deep into the B site, and this will be a very hard position to make up for Novaz, as his position will be noted as the pressure comes through. And all 3 of these players towards this back B site are going to be so hard to get out of position, especially considering that Novaz could think that the players are literally anywhere else. They could be heaven, they could be B main, and I think with this time pressure, I think it's just a call to save, because
slow here, DKE taking the quick A rubble aggression. Sorry, I meant Boba taking the quick rubble aggression, while DKE sitting back, moving over towards this C mound, playing just such standard Valorant, but you expect every team to do, every team to see. Now Aaron, oh, it's such a nasty position! Able to find one and get out quickly, and Louch unable to find anything as Optics will get that bomb down. Numbers in favor of DKE.
Yeah, very good opening play coming out from the side of DKE, able to find that pick in the spawn as they're not expecting E to be there. But with this Paranoia, if he loses this Vandal, this could be very bad. But the stun is there, and Fosi's able to find the headshot on. But E is just too good and finds 3 in the round, taking out Fosi, who was in just out shooting them, to be honest, even with the stun. And this is either a he gets heard on the jump down, and Optics is able to find the spray.
Moving over to take that C mound once again, where we do see the shift in Boba's composition, now holding 2 on the C side. So things, ouch.
I do like this change in play from Boba, not only just having Louch on the C site on their lonesome, but this time having piercings to reinforce with the Vice stall and the Viper stall. That's just so oppressive, especially after taking A main control. They have things pretty locked down, and while you wouldn't believe it without having the information, the B site is the weakest spot, and sure, the retake can be just crunching back in on those. But right now, DKE don't really have the best options, as all of A Rebel is accounted for, as Omen can TP out and just get the information, and C site is just reinforced, and especially with the things are looking dicey. The Fade Haunt does get shot, and all 5 of these players are in this CB area, and there are players to beat them, but the Nightfall is going to push Novaz back, and Fosi's going to get caught out too, as E and Luktelk are able to push in. Novaz and Bajunga are able to find some equalizers, and E is able to find 1, and Piercings finds 2. That's huge. Luktelk now has it all to do. 1 in position to take this round is A, and sure, there are going to be 3 players to contest, but they're able to beat the ability out, as E is able to kill Bajunga, not caring about the Paranoia, not caring about the scan, not caring about anything, frankly. And these 2 players, Ian Fosi and Novaz, are just going to group into this tree area as things are slowed down to a crawl. And right now, they've got Boba guessing where they're going to go as these two other players are C.
A beautiful call from DKE, sitting nice and quiet just on the doorsteps of A. And, you know, for Boba, you have to think they've rotated by now, but they haven't. We're maybe going to see our first contact in tree if Optics maybe wants to take this fight versus Bossy. Bossy wanting to peek out here is going to be able to find 1 and 2. Oh, what? Surviving the storm. Noble able to find one before being shut down by Callow, as numbers in favor of Boba. Miracle plays keeping them in control. And now all down to Lucktelk and Callow, the iconic duo, a duo that has been together forever. And now all down to Callow, the TCC MVP. Hopes and dreams on him, trying to prevent a match point here. Callow getting surrounded on all angles as Boba has him cooked. Maybe.
And it's going to be a quick take on the side of DKE, and they have everything on the line here. Sees, hits the bomb holder in Perso, and E is able to find one with the overdrive. Stun comes through, able to find his second. He's just running it down. E goes huge and finds 3, and even with connected player with Opt being stuck in the attacker's spawn, it might not matter. Piercings is able to find the overheating E after he finds 3 in the round, but still, it is looking pretty darn good for them as Perso sets up the one way, and the drop is just not going to be able to happen. And both these players of Piercings and Louch are just grouped up, and they don't have a lot of time to work with as they are just full walking, and this round is very doable still, but they need to get a move on as both of these players have a lot of ground to cover, and the bomb is planted for tree, so, and that's still an area they cannot clear with time given, and it's not looking good. They're gonna have to make a run for it, and Louch is gonna have to get on this bomb, but he's gonna go down to Perso. Kahlo gets hit by the paranoia, and it is a quick take for Rebel for Boba. But honestly, it doesn't seem like DKE are that interested in taking that space either. And again, it's just a double stall on C. It's going to be really tough for him to get through this. The Vice and the Viper is just a little too strong to get past that quickly. It'll buy takes, but the Omen TP is going to come through, and all of a sudden, this site is being overrun as Louch is able to get a trade, and Perso's brought down to low HP too, as Piercings could find a kill steal there, but it is not going to happen. And I think if they're not careful, Fosi could throw a grenade and find a quick kill onto someone. But that will not be the case as it was used during the A Rebel fight. But it is a 4 versus 4, and there's a real chance for Boba to... I wouldn't expect them to bust out any ultimates from the side of Boba, and the rocket misses! That's a huge whiff! That could have been a player or two down, and Fosi's able to... Lucktelk is good for the trade, and it is all onto Piercing's...
Time. And man, it's been one of the best maps of Valorant I have cast. There's been fun. There's been chaos. I'm excited to see. I want overtime to kind of happen. I kind of wanted it to happen.
I'm getting all sentimental over here.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna cry after the series. You're gonna be like, oh my.
Sorry, I started mid-series.
No, it's good. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But either way, there are a lot of players towards the C site, and the bomb is there too. So, I mean, in all honesty, DKE have been really strong at taking that C site. There hasn't been a lot, especially in the previous round. And Novas, with that haunt being shot, knows there is player presence in the B side, and reinforcements will come out as Piercings finds the jump spot onto the Omen. And with that not being their lurker player in the Vice, there is a good suspicion that there could be a lot of... In reality, it will most likely be a C-site hit, as all of these players are towards this. And it's just, yeah, it's going to be a pivot. And with 30 seconds left, this is really their only option except for a quick B pivot, but that would be a lot harder considering all of the more corners they'd have to clear. And with this Vice stall, things could get dicey. The Paranoia comes through at the right time, and E is not. And the Vice Thorns are just going to have a, especially with the Decay. And the Steel Garden too. All 4 of these players are committed to this site as the bomb has to go down, and none of them have Vandals. The Shorty comes through. Is able to one, and it is up to these 2 players, Kahlo and Lucktelk, and they're able to find the equalizer. It's a 2 versus 2, and Boba are letting it slip. Fosi all onto his round. I thought it was Raps, and Boba, I can't really say they let that slip because that was just an absolute hero play from Kahlo. The op shot gets missed by E, and the door is open for a round to be found here from Boba. They are able to bait out the Vice wall. They know this Vice is here along with the Operator, and it seems like they want to still hit this site regardless. With Optics still over towards A, maybe expecting a rotate, but Luktel is going to get overrun here, but it doesn't matter. He's going to find Novaz, and he's going to find Bajunga as well. And Fosi is most likely going to get cut out here by and all of a sudden, DKE are in the driver's seat for what feels like this map, but this entire series. And with the bomb stuck on site, Louch and Piercings don't have a way into this. I don't see them winning this realistically with players here. There'd have to be a major mistake to come through, and that's a start. Louch is able to find E, who doesn't have the Operator scoped in, but Perso is just on this crossfire angle with all of the players. Vice Flash gets shot, and this just has to be pure isolation, and somehow they're making it work. It doesn't matter. Kahlo, once again, is just finding where G2 7 match points to close it out. T1 only needed 1, but at the end of the day, it was a T1 win, and DKE are looking to make history themselves back. After we were putting them on Choke Alert, after putting them on Fraud Watch, they have brought it back. They are making me eat my words for being a narcissist, for being a pessimist. But right now, it doesn't matter because DKE are just putting in the work, and it's paying dividends. And Luktelk hears the footsteps from at least 2 players from the B site, and this will speed up the hit onto AS. They're honest, they're freezing in a tree. They don't know how many players are here. They eventually will come out, and E has a bit of work to do in clearing this back. They don't know if any players are here, but there are 4 players ready to here to fast flood back in. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just come in now, start swinging. And Boba, they have to win this 5 versus 5 retake. This is huge stakes on the line here. If they lose this round, we have to 3. And I think DKE reinvigorized. Louch is on the bomb. He's sticking. Have just thunk it up better, in all honesty. Right now, Boba with another 4-man push out in Rebel, and this time for pretty much the first time this game with no defender contention on a Rebel, and they are just given free space. It feels like a trap play. They're investing so much utility to clear out these corners. They're playing it so damn slow, but it just feels like a trap. That for the first time this game, there's no one there, but that's the honest to God truth. That is only 2 players in tree, and the question is, are they accounted for? Optics and Fosi, they are known for this double horde. Sorry, Optics and Kahlo, they were known for putting in the hero play, putting them in the game, making sure they don't lose, but this time they will. And Perso finds an opener as Piercings gets a little over-aggressive, overextends, and brings it back into a 3 versus 3. And Novaz is so far behind here and is not able to land the headshot. Fosi is just in a checkmate position in heaven. The Razor comes through and he shoots. Louch is there. The Odin Spray connects, but no kill is found. Door is tapped, and this could just be a full stick. Perso on the bomb, finds the bomb at half. It is being stuck and putting on his Forsaken cosplay.
Start to the season. Right now, it does not look pretty. Boba taking early B space. They're aggressive. Optics down to 3 HP already going down. As it's a heavy fight. Kahlo having to find 1. Piercing finds 1 as well. God. It's absolute chaos in B, but it ends up Boba down 3. DKE only down 2. Numbers in favor. DKE quickly rotating over towards this A site. But Louch sits alone. The Vice player. He has been dominant today. 30 kills in this map, but DKE deciding to move over towards this B site. Fosi with the Operator to find 1. 2v2 is now another rotate. And oh my gosh, look at the positioning from Perso. The positioning from Perso is deadly. And it's unexpected!
From DKE at the end there, it was just too strong. Perso finding those 2 kills is insane. And it's another brawl for Rebel. As we have 7 players in this direction. As it goes 1 for 1, Fosi finds Kahlo, E finds. That's duelist for duelist. But both teams are just going to give away the A Rebel space as pivots are coming in towards the C site. And Luktelk, once again, is game. And the smoke is here, the vines are here. Second set gets thrown, they get shot. Novaz has found a good timing onto the site, and the C's is too strong. He's able to get away, just barely find himself around this corner. But once again, Boba have a bomb plant, and their crossfires will be super strong. Now the question is, can they maintain? Can they hold the site? It is all. Louch jumps on the boxes. Shorty comes through, knife out. E just kind of fumbling there a little bit, and Perso finds it as well, and it's all onto. And Perso just finds the Odin spray. Another insane round, and deep in the map. After a map that looked dominant 8-4, after a first map that looked dominant 13-7, they are letting things slip here. And props to Dark Knights. They have really clawed their way back into devastating mentally. Losing map 1, going down in map 2 in dominant fashion, to be honest, have really clawed their way back themselves up for success. But the question is, what is the call? With 1 minute left, they do have to go somewhere, and it seems like it ace. And with Bajunga on this A site, on their lonesome, they do have a pretty good power position and are able to TP out, but the drop is going to be heard, and this will be more difficult as the nade comes through. The drop is just mistimed, and they're good. But no! The snap is on to E, and he's able to escape with his life. Fosi is there for the support, but eventually, does go down to optics, and that is an E. And low HP as well is Perso, so I would give this advantage to Boba just ever so in the slightest, especially considering that Bajunga has found himself in tree, and Piercings has this Odin to stop them, but this is disgusting. Dark Knights are just walking up into the defender's spawn. The question is this expected? And Piercings is holding for, and the spray is good! And that's the bomb! Boba, with 10 seconds remaining, have found the bomb in their spawn, and Kahlo has to find the kills here. And he is just looking down the no fear, but Louch and Bajunga just find 3. And sure, DKE found the first, but it is Boba to find the rest as they're up in a 4 versus 2. And we've seen Knights close out a round like this, and Louch is making it look too good. And Lucktilk in this 1 versus 3 has it all to do. Boba wants to go up in quadruple overtime after being down, up, and down, are looking to be up again. And Lucktilk, it is on them to play spoiler, to be the one that ends the credits of this movie. But with the triple hold, the
They're in overtime, and 1 round also separates each eternal victory.
And this is probably the boldest play DKE could have cooked up here. A 5-man rush onto the B site. Is it expected? No. Is it risky? Damn sure. And all of these players are just stuck here as the spray down comes through! Piercings finds 2, Louch finds another, and E and Kahlo are stuck on the other side as Piercings finds a 3rd, and Boba looking to close it out. All onto E, has to find 4, not looking likely. The rushdown coming through, and it's closed in quadruple overtime. Boba have won the series.
And what a series it was. Boba